COVID-19 pandemic delayed a lot of things, and the cars in our market weren't spared. Behind me is the new Subaru Evoltis, or what they call the Ascent in the US market. Now this was first scheduled to arrive in our market in Q3 last year. Fast forward to today, that's May 2021, and it's finally here in our market. So we've waited long enough. All right, let's go check it out. If you look along the sides here, it's got these big shoulders, these muscular haunches, which house these 20-inch tires and wheels. And if you look along the side here, the windows are equally big because the belt line doesn't rise by much as it reaches the back C-pillar. If you look underneath, that's 220 millimeters of ground clearance. So it's really there in the mid-size SUV territory. Now a lot of people compare this to another American SUV, the Ford Explorer. And I think if you look at it from the side, it kind of looks like it as well. Now the Evoltis has two things going for it. One, it's got Subaru's rally heritage, so it definitely has some sporty styling. And two, it's got all of those American design cues that we love. So its road presence is about as subtle as Dwayne Johnson shopping for a tank top. So if you look at the front here, got this big massive grille flanked by these somewhat sleek LED headlamps. And then this hood has these minimalist hood strakes, so it doesn't hide any of the bulge that this car exudes. Now one very cool thing about the Philippine spec Evoltis is that instead of the usual 3 and 2 seating layout to make it a 7-seater, you actually get these two really comfy captain's chairs in the back. So instead of fighting shotgun for the front seat, you'll actually be fighting for these bad boys. Now the captain's chairs aren't the only thing that the rear passengers get. If you look here, they actually get their own automatic aircon, complete with controls and everything. They've even got seat heaters, although why you would ever use that in the Philippines, I have no idea. On top of that, they also get a 120 volt charger, which is actually an actual plug. And they get two 2.1 amp USB chargers as well. Now, once you hop into the driver's seat, it all gets a little too busy. Now, I'm all for Incar Tech. I love using it. I love taking advantage of it. If it makes my life easier, I'm all for it. But there's just too much. I mean, you've got volume control over here. You've got steering wheel heat controls here. I don't even know what this does. It's got X mode here. All these buttons over here. It's just a little in your face, you know what I mean? Now, dashboards these days, they thrive on being streamlined, they thrive on being simple, minimalist, and it's as if Subaru just wanted to give me all the options at once without trying to make sense of the layout. This gets negative points in my book. On the plus side, you do get this nice big 8-inch touchscreen infotainment system that's linked to a Harman Kardon audio system, which produces some crisp sound. And of course, like with all new Subarus, this comes with eyesight technology. So you get all the necessary driver assist features and more that you could possibly need. All right, enough pointing stuff out. Let's go for a drive, shall we? As I mentioned before, the Evoltis is very much an American SUV, and of course its engine is no exception. Powering this thing is a 2.4-liter turbocharged boxer engine, which puts out 256 horsepower and 375 Nm of torque. Now, except for some slight turbo lag when you put your foot down, it performs about as well as you expect it to. Once the revs climb, you really feel all that torque, especially when the turbo kicks in. Like all new Subarus, the Evoltis is built on the Subaru Global platform. Now what that means is it has a unibody construction that promises better rigidity and less body roll. And it definitely lives up to that, at least compared to the old Subarus. It's very stable, it stays planted throughout corners, and it stays pretty flat, even on bumpy surfaces. Now combine that with a 2.4-liter turbocharged engine, and you have something that's fun to throw around. Now of course, you don't buy a thing like this to throw it around, but it's nice to know that you can if you want to, right? The there are some disadvantages to buying a car like this. First thing is the engine. Now, a 2.4 liter turbo powered by gasoline in the Philippines, naturally its fuel economy isn't going to be great. Second, there's the price. It costs $3.48 million. So that's about $1 million more than a top spec Japanese midsize SUV, which would offer the same amount of seats, equally competitive tech, and 4-wheel drive. You think it's worth the price? Let us know in the comments. So that's the Subaru Evoltis. Think it's worth the price of admission? Let us know what you think down below in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on our channel. This has been Jason Tulio for Top Gear Philippines, and I'll see you next time. And it's very stable, stays relatively flat even on bumpy.